I created a 6-month plan so that by the end of the 6 months, I will be running a fully established art business. Starting a business can be a very anxious journey, and as someone who really struggles with fear and imposter syndrome, I've really been trying to work through my fears in a productive way. So in this video, I will be working on my first art print while I chat with you guys about 2 books that have helped me navigate those fears and share how my own perspective has shifted so far. Hey everyone, my name is Katia and welcome back to Small Beginnings. As we're working on our products, today I want to talk about something I've been struggling with, fear. And not the big dramatic kind of fear, but the very quiet fears that just linger in the background of your mind. Fears like, what if it doesn't sell? What if I'm not good enough? What if my products aren't good enough? What if I don't finish what I start? What if I can't sustain this business? And those are the fears that come up when I'm planning, creating, and building my small business. And today I want to unpack those fears a bit and share how I've been facing them with some really great resources that I've gathered. If you've been keeping up with my channel this year, you'd know that I love to read. I've been reading a lot of different genres, but because I started working on the 6-month plan, I have been wanting to obviously continue my reading goal, but read more books that kind of reflect those values so I don't feel all over the place. I recently finished these 2 really great books called The Creative Act by Rubin and Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. They're both about creativity and the creative journey, but they take really different approaches. But both books have taught me a lot and have given me a really great perspective. And because fear has always been one of my biggest struggles in life and in my creative journey, I kind of want to work through what these books have to say about my fears and the fears a lot of artists kind of go through. It's definitely kept me encouraged and has given me a different mindset and have a different perspective towards the fears that come up and how I'm able to manage them better. And so I hope it keeps you guys encouraged and full of hope, just like it's done for me. And I think it's just really important to confront your fears. One of my biggest fears that has come up for me in my creative journey was the fear, what if I'm wasting my time making art? And I'm the type of person always suffering from what I like to call quote unquote buyer's remorse. I've always loved art, but because I put a lot of attention and energy on this path, I can get in the habit of constantly questioning if I'm meant to be doing something else. Is this the direction I'm meant to go? Am I supposed to be here? Was I being Delulu this entire time, And I feel like the Creative Act kind of approaches this topic, every single topic, in a more philosophical, spiritual way. That might not be the easiest to replicate practically, but I do like what it has to say on the topic, and it does have some nice little nuggets. Early in the book, I think in either chapter 1 or 2, the author Rubin talks about creativity as a natural force that flows through us. It's like tuning into a frequency that's already there. And I do think that's an interesting way to describe it because it can feel like that sometimes. I've always been constantly creating. Things catch my eye and I just have this desire to just make something out of it. I have had a lot of creative energy built up that hasn't always known where it wanted to go, but it's always been there. And for me, I don't know, there's no other feeling like creating something. It's something I wanted to give myself the opportunity to explore more, especially as someone who is just been on the more cautious side. It's I have to do something with this. I just can't let this creative energy go to waste. I just can't not explore that, So it's even in my moments, I feel like I'm wasting my time. It's well, dang, what else am I supposed to do? Because I really like this thing, In another chapter, he compared creative ideas to seeds. And he kind of says that you plant many seeds in your life, not knowing which one will grow. And to paraphrase, it's time spent exploring or trying things that quote unquote don't work out isn't wasted. It's sowing for future growth. Collect seeds, plant them, water them, and see if they take root. Sometimes the purpose of a seed is to propel us into a completely different direction. The work reveals itself as you go. When he was talking about this, he thought about seeds as creative ideas, but I also think of them as purpose. collecting those seeds that speak to you, watering them and seeing what takes root. Sometimes you don't water a certain seed enough to see if it's going to take root or not. And for art and creativity, it's something that I want to water and see what sprouts. And I want to take the time to do that in this season of my life. Sometimes you really won't know until you try. And I feel like I haven't fully given myself the full capacity to just try. And it's kind of like experimentation. You have to try things out and see what comes out of it. And I just find that idea to be so fun and freeing also. And still like an artist, Austin Kleon says, do good work and share it with people. In the book, he encourages us to just focus on making something good and letting it be seen. And to me, I just think about as it relates to whether I'm wasting my time. It's don't think whether it's worth it. The act of making and sharing is what leads to purpose. You can't predict what will matter until it does. But as long as the intention is there, you will gain more clarity. I don't even remember how long ago I did that video, but one of my other videos, I was just talking about how we gain clarity by doing. And that quote had literally just propelled me to just make art for 30 days straight and to see what came out of it. And, it just, made me just fall in love with art a little bit more. And I think, when you do focus on making good work and you share that with people, it will bring forth more clarity. And that won't be a waste of time because, again, you are gaining clarity through the process. And that kind of goes with a lot of different situations in life. Remembering these things and taking on that perspective has been a great mindset shift for me, especially on those days where I get in my own head a lot. I'm able to understand that life isn't linear. It is about experimenting, exploring, giving things the opportunity and space to grow, also being flexible and putting yourself out there. When I think about my fears a lot, I think all my fears regarding my small business are pretty connected when it comes to the fear that I won't sell, the fear that I'll lose momentum, the fear that I'm not meant for this, the fear that I can't come up with anything good. They all come back to one thing. And I feel that thing is control. You're wanting to know how it all turns out and you need that peek around the corner before you go in that direction. You need it to be a certain way, but again, it's completely outside of your control because realistically, no one owes you anything. No one owes you a purchase of your product. They don't owe you their attention. They don't owe you anything, which is a harsh truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. So having gratitude and having faith through the process, despite the lack of control, has been essential for me at the very least. In the creative act, Rubin, I think it's in one of the later chapters, he calls it a conversation with the unknown. He says, you don't create because you're sure, you create to find clarity. Like we said, you gain clarity by doing. He says that when you make something, it's not pulling from certainty. You are engaging with discovery, experimentation, and all that stuff. And I feel he says that the artist's job is to listen and respond rather than dictate or control. We don't create because we know what will happen, but we create to find out. I'm not waiting for guarantees that I know this thing will sell or waiting for guarantees that this business will be a success. Obviously, I'm hoping for it and have faith for it. But again, we create to find out. That's everyone on this earth. That's not just you. So you can just kind of rest in the fact that no one really has that level of certainty, but everybody is working to figure it out. And what really empowers me in that is the fact that not knowing and not having all the answers, I don't just have to sit powerless. I can steward what I have, steward what I'm doing well, be consistent with it, and I will eventually figure it out. And to bring it back to Still Like an Artist, one of his chapters is titled Be Boring. It's the only way to get work done. In it, he just talks about how instead of focusing on the things you can't control, focus on the things that you can, which is routine, which is discipline, which is stability. And those things allow your creativity to thrive because instead of controlling outcomes, focus on controlling your environment and your habits, what's in reach, your time, your space, your effort, and release what's not in reach, like sales, success, and recognition. This actually literally reminds me of a sermon I heard in church one time. And one of the things that stuck out to me the most was my pastor said, aim for faithfulness, not success. 1 Corinthians 4:2. It is required that as a steward, you be faithful. Being faithful is just being loyal and steadfast, being consistent, being reliable. And in the Bible specifically, it's towards God and towards others. A creative life thrives on consistency, not chaos. Control your inputs, not your outcomes. And once you're able to control the things that you actually can control, your outcomes have no choice. You're going to see the fruit of that. You're going to see the fruit of your faithfulness. And to the small business owners, and artists, selling is part of sustaining art, but it is not proof of its worth. So don't attach your identity to sales. We can't control external validation. We can't control how many people buy, like, or comment, or, interact, how much the work sells. You can't control any of that. And still, like an artist, Austin Kleon talks about selling as sharing at a scale. So you're not manipulating or controlling people to like your work. You're giving it a chance to connect with someone who values it. He says, quote, "The trick is to stay focused on your art, your process, and your people, not on the numbers. So instead of trying to control how your audience responds, your job is to stay in this creative rhythm of make, share, connect, and repeat." And that has been so not only consistent with like everything that I know to be true, studying art in school and obviously like learning from it with these really two great books, but also just like in my faith. It's all quite connected. It's been encouraging and also affirming, just having that constant confirmation that is the case, and knowing what I have to do and what my job is in this entire thing. Being faithful and being a good steward is something that is so important, which is why the whole small beginnings thing, like Zechariah 4:10, "Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." Begin the work and just stay consistent through it. Celebrate the fact that you're starting and continue it out. So how am I working through all this? I'm learning to appreciate the small beginnings and see them as valuable, to create before I even feel ready to show up, even when it just doesn't feel possible, when things feel like a waste of time, because that fear doesn't disappear even when you are successful, which you hear just from so many successful people. It just changes its shape. But every time I do push past that fear, every time I post, anytime I create, every time I even share with you guys, I'm able to prove it to myself that it is possible. You can literally push past the fear and do what you need to do. And I think with every step that you take, you gain more clarity. You're able to do even greater things. If you're a creative person watching this, maybe you felt those same fears too, but share anyway, create anyway, believe anyway, because you don't have to be fearless to create something beautiful. You don't have to be fearless to be successful or faithful in this case. You don't have to be fearless to go after something that you really desire. You just have to be open and keep showing up. That's the best thing that one can do for themselves. So that is the end of the video. If you guys have any books on creativity that you've read, share them below because I'd love to read them. So yeah, this was just my little conversation about fear. Some things that, these two really great books have taught me about fear. If you are interested, you should absolutely pick them up because they were really great reads for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and thank you so much for watching.